games. Whoop, let's go. Hursty games, and this how we do. Now it's time we
Hey there guys, welcome back to Hursty Games and welcome to my Euro 2021 prediction. Now today the Euros will be starting, obviously not the time you're recording this, the time this will be uploaded. This is being uploaded or filmed, a couple of days beforehand, but the Euros I believe starts the day that this will be uploaded, as long as I upload it and edit it in time, let's hope. But I'm going to be going through all of my predictions for the group stages and then for the game as it progresses, the tournament, as it progresses, and give you guys my thoughts on who I think is going to win the whole thing. So, without further ado, let's get into it and let's see who I think is going to win the tournament. Let's go. Okay, so let's get into it and let's start off with Group A. Now, honestly, I think Italy are going to win Group A. I can see them not sort of trouncing their way through, but I can see them relatively convincingly winning the group. I think Switzerland will probably just about be the team that finishes in second. They've got a couple of standout players. I think they've got a couple of decent players. And I think, honestly, it depends on kind of how their game between Switzerland and Wales go as to how the sort of second, third, fourth will finish. And I see Turkey finishing in last for that last position in Group A, but I think Italy will go through. I think Switzerland in second and Wales will join that third place pool. And now Belgium, I see winning this group. I think Belgium are going to be a real force this competition, and I think that they're going to have a pretty darn good competition. And I see them winning their group again relatively comfortably. But I do think one of my sort of dark horse teams is Denmark. I think Denmark have got a good squad. I think they've got a lot of decent players with good experience, and they've got a good couple of individuals with decent players around them. And I think Denmark will surprise a few people, and I can see them coming in second. Russia, I think, will come in third, and I think Finland are going to struggle, and I think Finland are going to finish bottom in that group. But I'm fairly confident with the top two here and the two teams going through. With this one, I honestly think these teams kind of could rotate a fair bit. I think I'm confident with Italy, but this one I'm confident with Belgium and Denmark making their way through. Just like Group C, I'm confident with Netherlands. I think Netherlands will see themselves through in this group, and I just think Netherlands have got a good squad. I think they've got a good mix of youth. And also some experience in there, and I could see them having a pretty good tournament. I think Austria they're a side with good individuals, but they don't have depth throughout the entire squad. I know they had a couple of injuries, but I think some of those players are either going to be fit for the tournament or they sort of have replacements for those players for the Euros anyway. And at the bottom two, I'm not overly convinced, but I've gone with Ukraine third and then Macedonia in fourth. I don't know much about Macedonia. There's a few players I know of, mainly through FIFA, I will be honest. But I don't think they've got the squad depth. I don't think they've got the numbers to particularly compete with these two. So I'm fairly confident with those two being my guests to go through. We'll go on to Group D now. And not just because I'm English, I do genuinely think England will top the group. I think the first game is one of the most important ones for first and second, and I think Croatia are going to finish second. That is providing, obviously, we beat Croatia. I think if we lose to Croatia, it literally will just do that, but I do see us going through in first place. Scotland I've got for third place, and then the Czech Republic in fourth, and again, kind of depending on how this game kind of goes. You know, Scotland I think will pick up points against Czech Republic. They've got a chance of taking something against Croatia. Obviously they've got a chance to take something against us, and I kind of think all four of these teams here have got a chance and capabilities of beating each other in the groups. But it's almost kind of like you want us here when you look at who we play and the pool of teams that we play if we finish second, but I will stick with us being in first because that's where I do think we will finish in the group, with Croatia second and Scotland in third with Czech Republic at the bottom. On to the fourth, this is definitely the fifth, Tom, list, and for me it's Spain to top the group. I think Spain they've got a really weird squad. I think the squad they're taking with them, it doesn't necessarily worry me particularly as somebody who is, watching them play, and obviously we don't play them straight away, but I'm not as scared of Spain now as I was maybe the last European competition. I don't think their squad looks as threatening. They've still got great individuals, but I just think, I don't know, I feel like Spain have taken a slight back step in their international squad, and it's a bit of a strange one that they're taking, but you can't do much about that. You take the international players that you think are good enough. For me, second place is going to be Poland. Lewandowski, I think, will be a big part of it, and obviously they've got a good couple of other players, but Lewandowski being Lewandowski, if they can get him in shooting boots, they can get through this group stage. Sweden, I know that Zlatan came out of international retirement to play, but I think has then got injured, so I don't think Zlatan's going. I don't think Sweden have got the strength. Same with Slovakia. I don't think they've got the strength in numbers to see it through this group. I think Spain and Poland will relatively comfortably win first and second in this group, and I think Spain will top it. And then the death group, the very difficult group to call. I've gone with Hungary in fourth. I can tell you guys that much. I think Hungary have got a tough time of it. Portugal, France, Germany. For me, three very strong teams. Portugal, on paper, you think they're a decent squad. You look at some of those individuals, they've got a hell of a team going into this tournament. And for that reason, I think Germany are actually going to finish third in this group. Now, I think this group will heavily depend on this game here, because if France beat Portugal and Germany beat Hungary, I don't know which order the games are in, but I think Germany that will then see Portugal as a team they've got to get a point and they're fine. Like they're, a point against Portugal and they're in a really good position if this game happens first. But I haven't looked into which order the games happen, so pinch yourself with that opinion. But for me, I think France will top the group and Portugal second. Now, this opinion literally changed like 24 hours ago before I made this video. I had it like this. I've changed my mind and I think I'm having it like this. I think Portugal will see it through, but I think Germany will probably be one of the teams in third that will go through, and we'll get into that now. So I think Germany will make it through. And then, honestly, it kind of depends on how some of these groups go. I think because this group could be quite close, I think Scotland could just about see it through. And then you look at these other ones. This one here, again, this group one, or group A, I should say, because I think this kind of could be between these three. I'm going to put Wales through as well, just because I think this could be quite a close group. And the only other team, honestly, I'm kind of looking at teams that I think would comfortably beat their, like the third place, that would comfortably beat their fourth opposition. And I'm kind of stuck between Ukraine and Russia. Just because of the strength of the team, I've gone with Russia. So that's kind of what I've gone for there. So the teams to go through in first are Italy, Belgium, Netherlands, England, Spain and France. In second, I've gone with Switzerland, Denmark, Austria, Croatia, Poland and Portugal. And the teams to go through for the best third place finishes are Wales from Group A, Russia from Group B, Scotland from Group D and Germany from Group F. And now we go into the knockout round. So this here, you can see this would be the teams that everyone plays against according to the positions I have put them in. So for example, because Belgium finished first, they would play against Scotland. Because Italy finished second, they would play against Austria and vice versa. So that's providing my group predictions are correct. So we'll get into now the round of 16. Belgium, Scotland, I think it will be Belgium. For me, they're one of the teams for the tournament. I do genuinely think they're one of the teams for the tournament, so I'm going with Belgium to make it through in this one. Italy, Austria is actually quite a tough one, because I think Italy have got the better squad, but Austria, we've seen in friendlies, if you watch the England games recently, they're a tough old team, and I don't think Italy will be up for that fight. But I think in regards to class, I think Italy would make it through. So for me personally, I see Italy just about beating Austria. But I think this will actually be a very interesting game if this one happens, because I think this will be a bit of quality and a bit of flair up against some real grit and some real strength. So it'll be an interesting one for me. France v Russia, for me it's France to go through. Again, another one of the dark horses for this tournament in my opinion. So I've gone with France to go through. Croatia, Poland, another tricky one. I mean, Croatia, a team that I think surprised a fair few people with how far they got in the World Cup previously and through other tournaments and stuff. And I think they'll do it. I think numbers across the board, I think their squad is better than the Poland squad. I think Poland just have Lewandowski, a better individual. You could maybe say Szczesny, though he's not had the best season, but I think I'm going to go for Croatia. I think they will see it through against Poland. But I think that could be a kind of game that has like a 0-0 or like a 1-1 written all over it. Goes to penalty, and I think Croatia would make it through. Spain versus Wales. As I said, I don't think Spain have got the best team going into this tournament, but I do think their team is better than Wales' team, and I do see them winning that game. So, in my opinion, I think that one will be a Spanish win. This one here, this is not a game I like. This is not a game I like at all, because as I said, I think Portugal have got a very good squad. I really do. And Portugal's attack against our defence, I don't look forward to that matchup at all. I don't look forward to that matchup in the slightest. And I am trying to vote with my head here and not my heart, because my heart says England, my head isn't sure, and I'm gonna back England here. Now, I think if we win this game, we've knocked out one of the best teams in the tournament, and I genuinely mean that. I think if we win this game, we've knocked out one of the best squads in the entire tournament, and that's a genuine. That would be a huge triumph here for us. I think it depends on the matchup. It depends on the day. It depends on the lineups. It depends on a lot of things. But I'm gonna back England. But just know, I've really struggled with this here because head and heart again. I'm torn. I'm definitely torn. Netherlands against Germany. Another fantastic matchup. Another belter of a matchup here. And I think I'm gonna just about back Netherlands. And again, this is kind of like the England-Portugal game. I think this game could go either way because it's two very talented, very good squads. But I've gone with Netherlands, just about to beat Germany, and that game could go either way, honestly. And the last game of the round of 16 is Switzerland-Denmark, and I see Denmark going through it again. I think these guys are a bit of a dark horse in this tournament, and I think a lot of people will be slightly surprised by Denmark. And how well they do in this tournament specifically. So I've gone with Denmark, which puts them through into round of 8, which will now go through the quarterfinals. Belgium against Italy. I'm going with Belgium again. I think they're one of the strongest teams in the entire tournament. So I see them sort of relatively coasting past Italy, in my honest opinions. France, Croatia. I see France going through again. Probably my other favourite to win it is France. So this here is kind of what I think the final would be if games went like. In order to allow it, I think this would be the final, but I have them matching in the semi-finals. England versus Spain. I think if we beat Portugal, I think we can take Spain. Honestly, I think if we beat Portugal, we will be able to take on Spain. Just like, honestly, if this ends up being that Portugal and Germany swap round from my group stage, I think we beat Germany, and if we beat Germany, I think we beat Spain. So I'm going to put us here to go into the semi-finals. I won't lie to you. Then we have Netherlands versus Denmark, and this one I'm genuinely stuck. I'm genuinely torn. Again, for me, I think Denmark are the dark horses of this tournament. I really do think they are going to surprise a lot of people because Netherlands, I'm still relatively sure without Van Dijk, and I think in the defence, De Ligt has proven a few times this season to be a little bit suspect without a world-class defender next to him. And Van Dijk, De Ligt, I think would be an incredible duo. But do I think players like De Jong, do I think players like Depay will carry them through this? Quite possibly. But I'm going to back Denmark here. Now, call me crazy. I genuinely see Denmark doing very well in this tournament. And this game, again, could go either way. Just like I said with England, Portugal, just like I've said with, I think it was Croatia, Poland. This could go either way. But I'm going to say Denmark. I think Denmark are going to make the semi-finals of this tournament. And again, call me crazy, that's absolutely fine. I see it happening. But I wouldn't be surprised if it was Netherlands either. Regardless, let's stop waffling. We're going to move on. Belgium versus France. Now, on paper, I think France have the best team at the tournament. I genuinely do. I think they've got the best individuals. I think they've got the best squad. Belgium, for me, have the second best team in the tournament, which is why I kind of have these two as my favourite two to win it. These two against each other, I think I'm going to back France. I think Lukaku's going to have an incredible tournament. I think Lukaku, personally, is going to win the Golden Boot. I think he's going to get the most goals. But France v Belgium, I'm going to have to say I think France is going to win this. I'm not going to lie to you. Now, people are going to think I'm crazy here because there's no way England should be reaching the final, right? Like, I want England to win it, obviously. But it sounds crazy to put us there. If I'd gone with Portugal to win this, I think Portugal would make it through as well. I think whichever way this lines up, this team here of this leg, if it's England-Portugal, I think we'll make it to the final. Because I think both of those squads are good enough to beat Germany. I think Denmark are going to surprise the Netherlands. And even if this was Netherlands here, I think I'd still back us here. But I think France will win the whole thing. I do genuinely think that France are going to win the whole thing, especially if it's an England-France final. I love us. Obviously, I want England to win, obviously. But I think France are going to win it, boys. I won't lie to you. But it feels crazy to say England in the final. Do I think this is the best squad we've got? Or that we've taken to a tournament recently? No, I think there's a couple of individuals missing. But I think there are some individuals that can turn these games on its head. I'm not the biggest fan of Grealish. Watching him playing in an England shirt, he's a baller. He's so good. Do I think the squad's going to be enough to beat France? No, I don't. Honestly, I think the winner of this game, if it goes the way I predicted, will win the tournament. I think we have a better chance of beating Belgium than we do of beating France. But I think whoever wins that semi-final, according to my prediction, will win the entire tournament. That's just my prediction. That's my thought process. My question to you guys is, have you done this? Who did you have as winning the tournament? Which dark horses do you think there are? For me personally, the dark horses of the tournament are Denmark. And I guess you could kind of say us. I know we're one of the favourites to win it, but you know, do I think we're the favourites to win it? Personally, no. I think it is France, Belgium, and then maybe us. I'd maybe push us to third place in regards to favourites of the whole thing. But let me know your guys' thoughts. Let me know how crazy you think I am with my predictions, or if you think it's a relatively accurate one. I think it's a fair one based on stats and things that I've said. But for now, guys, I will leave this here for you. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed it, then please do leave a like on the video. It supports me, the video, and the channel out a whole bunch. If you are new to the channel, then please do hit that sub button, turn notifications on to be told anytime that we upload a video. And if you want to catch us streaming, then make sure you go and follow the Twitch Hursty Games YT over there. But for now, guys, I want to say thank you for watching. I've been Tom. You guys have been awesome, and I will see you soon. Look after yourself, and of course, wash those hands.
What? Nah, his name is Hursty. Slap bald head, yeah, it'll probably hurt me. Bang top bins, it'll probably hurt you. Ginger, streamer, platform, YouTube. Drop a name in the chat, we'll say hello. Entertain, yeah, you already know. Capital H, yeah, I'm a read it slow. Hursty Games, yeah, you already know.